Hi, this is Ken. We're with Steve Meltzer of JSI. Steve just wrote an article in this issue of the Roundtable about USAC OIG audits, and one of the themes is the fear of the unknown. And why don't you talk a little bit about what that means?
Well, my main interest is to get people a little bit prepared for the audits, because a lot of the comments that we've heard from our client companies that had audits was, this is the worst experience I ever had. Didn't know how to deal with it. So I thought if companies were prepared for the audit and they knew a little bit about what was going on, it would make the whole process a little bit easier. So understanding some of the documents that you need to get ahead of time, be prepared, certifications, those items that you have in your files that have been buried for 15 or 20 years or 5 years or whatever it is. And then just understand what the auditors are looking for. So if you understand the process, there's a little less fear of the unknown and you can prepare for it.
And it sounds like it is very much, or it has been very much about dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
It has been, and it's been an attestation standard that these companies have had to adhere to as far as the audit process goes. And the attestation standard basically means you need to substantiate all the investments that you have on your books and your expenses. And if you've got a continuing property record and you've got a retirement unit that goes into that record, and then you've got a unit price and a retirement unit price, you need to back it up with invoices for that unit, overhead cost spreads, material and supply spreads, any taxes, anything that goes into that retirement unit. You've got to have all that information. And the other thing that companies have had difficulty with is the document retention. I think that document retention was the biggest issue that got kicked out in round 2 by the auditors. And any item that you have on your assets or your books, you need to have that invoice to support that asset for 5 years from when you receive the funding. So if you booked some pole lines or some aerial cable in 1995 and it's still on the books and you're still earning on it, you need to have those invoices to back that up.
Yeah, it was 5 years after you retire the asset or something like that?
Or 5 years after you stop getting funding from that asset. So that would be 5 years after you retire that asset.
That's incredible. Now there's been a change at the OIG you were mentioning.
Yes, Bill Garay, who is basically heading up the high-cost audit portion at the Federal Communications Office of Inspector General, has been replaced by a guy named Jerry Gray. So there probably will be some changes in the audit process for the next round, round 4. We're not really clear on what's going to happen. They could relax the standards a little bit and go to a performance audit standard instead of the attestation standard. They could put more of the focus over to USAC and less of the focus with the FCC OIG office dictating the terms.
Super. So I guess we'll see another article from you someday talking about what needs to be done at the future date.
Yeah, possibly. So we'll see.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you.